ver o que vai acontecer, né? Vale dizer que hoje provavelmente eu posto no YouTube o do Xbox. Esse daqui deve sair amanhã, perto da hora do almoço, mais ou menos. E aí o da Capcom eu solto depois da live de amanhã. Aqui na Twitch fica assim que acabar a live, né?
Hey everyone, welcome to the PC Gaming Show 2022. I'm Day 9 still. One of your hosts, joined again by the amazing Mika Burton.
Hi.
While we may look like elaborate Unreal Engine renders, we are here in the flesh, as is the hardware, bringing you the best and brightest in the world of PC gaming.
Over the next 2 hours, we are going to showcase a
Duas
metric
horas,
ton of killer upcoming PC games through world premieres, exclusive interviews, and a few surprises along the way.
Então
And
termina,
you, the folks at home, might even be able to win
6:30
yourself a
essa
fancy computer if you play your cards right.
And now you may remember the last time you saw me on this show, things ended quite literally explosively.
Yeah.
There was a robot who tried to destroy the human race, electrocuted me. I think I died.
Definitely died.
Either way, I'm not really sure. It was standard robot apocalyptic stuff, just minus the overbearing anime dad and existential crises.
Yeah, well, actually, what happened to DevBot anyway? Wasn't he supposed to come back for this show for,
Yeah.
like, Revenge of the DevBot?
Well, he's dead.
Oh.
We melted him down to try to make our own graphics cards since they're still hard to find, and I would say he's in a better place, but I played Cyberpunk 2077 and he's not.
Ooh, that's pretty dark for the start of the show.
Or nostalgic.
Aw.
But none of that matters because the show actually took place in a parallel reality.
All right, so you're telling me there's actually a multiverse?
According to the writers who told me this 5 minutes before we went live, I am saying there's a multiverse.
All right.
We're now apparently on Earth 3, which
Ooh.
is not to be confused with E3 because this show is still happening.
Oh, and we are so thrilled to be back as a part of this weekend full of celebrations of gaming by putting the spotlight on something near and dear to our hearts. PC gaming.
And so, without any further ado, it's time for my favorite part.
Rated M for mature.
I won't leave you. You're not a monster. In the beginning, the world was subjugated by chaos.
Parece espada de Final Fantasy daí.
Endless droves of horrors trespassed into the world. And so came the solstice of souls. Something's coming.
Between death and transcendence, a chimera chooses death.
Show us what you've got!
Não é. Tá falando da Fai do Skyward Sword? Não diria.
May the judge have mercy on your souls.
É Skyward Sword que é a Fai, acho que é, né? É só que a espada é esquisitona mesmo.
You're here with me.
I always will be.
As long as we are together, we're not going down.
É o tipo de jogo que a gente vê o trailer, é da hora, mas não entendeu porra nenhuma do que tá acontecendo e do que é esse jogo, tá ligado?
They wanted yet another monster. They shall have one.
You must resist it!
Solstice. Tá, eu não entendi porra nenhuma. Ih, meu chat caiu. Meu chat faleceu. Voltou, eu acho. Trocentos séculos nessa porra dessa tela é uma bosta. Clay é do coisa lá, né? É, voltou, eu tô vendo seu teste aqui. É a do... Caralho, esse nome Don't Starve, não é? Essa porra. Se não me engano é do mesmo estúdio do Don't Starve, isso aí. meio alto, né? Dá uma baixada. Rotwood. Ih. Eles ficam muito tempo numa tela sem nada, tá ligado? Não é meu estilo de jogo. Uma reunião da Among Us, tipo isso. A Quinta Guerra Mundial, caralho, não teve nem a terceira, ainda escreveu na quinta. Practical Breach Wizards. What the fuck? Esse jogo aí, O foda é isso, tem uns negócios legais na da PC Gamer, mas tem uns bagulho muito
You
aleatório.
just saw Tactical Breach Wizards, a turn-based game of sorcery and SWAT team strategy from the makers of Gunpoint and Heat Signature. My strategy, personally, is very simple. Breach, bang, clear, magic missile, dramatic flourish, abra, cadaver. Get it? Cadaver, dead body. Next, we have a solution to the age-old problem of not having time to read and play video games. Just do both at the same time, obviously. Star Wars Industries has you covered with their sci-fi thriller inspired by Stanislaw Lem's novel, The Invincible. So here's your first look at the first ever gameplay footage.
Eles ganham 2 horas nessas transições gigantes deles, né, mano?
What have you done?
É isso que monta 2 horas de show, basicamente.
Where are you taking me?
You came here yourself. So what are you expecting, huh?
You've set up a field camp down there.
Yes, ma'am.
So I didn't expect you to have a second one here.
Really? Sit here and don't you dare move. What are you doing here?
You're not gonna like this part.
Nossa, traduzir nome dos jogos é foda, hein, Victor? O Florislava nem sucesso fez. Octional Included até fez sucessinho, mas o mais conhecido deles é Don't Starve, definitivamente. Ih, é PC Gamer, mas estão mostrando o botão de console no trailer aí, né? Aí pega mal, hein, pra eles. Não, porque pra coisa de PC, ficam criticando o console. Mas aí o cara tá jogando tudo bem, você pode jogar no controle no PC, mas... Teclado e mouse, ainda mais jogo primeira pessoa? Não? Sei lá. Pra mim seria interessante, né? Eu sei que não são eles que decidem, mas eles poderiam ter conversado com alguém que fez o trailer, né?
I located the mobile antimatter cannon.
Another one? How many of those did they... Is it active?
Dead.
I admire your composure.
Wait, someone's here. Astrogator, they're dead.
So you found someone. Fortunately, such unpleasant discoveries are indispensable to the mission.
I didn't let that thought get to me. I was counting on this meeting very much. At worst, It could have been another abandoned place, but not this.
But what exactly?
That's a good question.
Tá.
I'm getting into the recorder. What do we have here? Uh-huh. They made their way through with a beam of antimatter.
How subtle. Did you locate this passage?
I'm looking at it now. They pierced a hole several meters in diameter and several dozen meters long.
Questão, eu não entendi a porra desse jogo ainda também.
Yasna, do you hear me?
Yes. My head feels like it's bursting from pressure.
Can you continue?
Yes. I'm better now. Actually, there's nothing here that I haven't seen before. There are a lot of metal bushes that were near our camp. The lower parts of the bushes are, how to put it, fruitless.
So they came to pick the fruits.
Vai atrás do droid pra ver o que tá.
This robot looks like it has started its task and got stuck.
What task?
This is one of the robots carrying containers with research material. It took the container, but never left that place.
Why do you think it's stuck?
Well, it goes in circles using the same path. The robot's gone.
You must have broken his loop.
But I didn't.
No, he must have done something. Never mind. Follow it.
Ainda não entendi esse jogo.
Fuck! It's getting up!
What, a robot?
No! Antimat!
Come on, Yasna. Run. Hide. Yasna, are you alive?
Yes, it's fucked up the robot.
What's it doing now?
Oh no. Take care of our people, Novik.
It's time to take a pit stop at the nearest dungeon to prove that chivalry isn't dead. And if you think I emphasize those words weirdly, you're right. And it'll all make sense momentarily when you see these next 4 games, especially when you hear from our friends at Tripwire Interactive. Roll that beautiful footage.
Pelo menos tá bastante trailer, mas eles falam que vai ter entrevista, então é
You
meio
don't
sem
have
graça.
what it takes. You'll be back here too scared to try again. Cause the dungeon will turn you into lunch meat. Unless you're way tougher than you look. We got the guns, the turrets, the upgrades. But what you really need is guts and skills. Grab your posse and say your prayers. Be the first to play. To die.
Eu sinto que eu já vi esse jogo em algum lugar, ou ele é muito genérico. Mas eu acho que eles já mostraram esse jogo no passado. Dubiar no próprio ano passado, assim.
Do you have what it takes?
Fórmula 1 Manager, já vimos.
Welcome to F1 Manager 2022. the ultimate F1 simulation, putting you in the position of team principal at one of the 10 current F1 teams, battling it out for a chance to be the next world champion. Choose your team and drive every decision that leads to you making your mark on the grid, and hopefully the podium. Winning championships depends on your ability to make the right calls on and off the track.
Eu não sei se tem um time roxo da Fórmula 1, mas provavelmente eu faria roxo se eu pudesse escolher a cor.
Driver and make changes on the fly when necessary. Issue driver callouts, such as instructing them to attack or defend, manage their tyre wear and battery usage, or even to avoid battling a teammate. All while reacting to dynamic events like race incidents and fluctuating weather and track conditions. Between race weekends, you'll control every detail of your
Isso
team
aí é
from
muito
your
confuso pra
state-of-the-art
minha cabeça, tá
headquarters.
ligado?
Hire best-in-class staff to work across your aerodynamics and engineering teams and put them to the task to develop your car and prepare new parts for upcoming races. Optimize your finances to keep the board happy, improve and maintain your facilities, and scout talent from F2 and
Eles estão
F3
cobrindo
to
o
try and
poder
ensure
dos
future success.
corredores ali embaixo.
They say knowledge is power, and keeping a close eye on a plethora of realistic data will help give you the edge. From the finer details of how car parts affect overall performance, to a track's expected grip level, to the condition of your wind tunnel, how you analyze the data and choose to spend your resources will make or break your progress. You'll find depth and detail in abundance, even down to real-world team radio messages between drivers and engineers, and race commentary from David Croft and Karun Chandok, while broadcast-style presentation showcases 2022's striking new car design with real trackside and onboard camera angles. Sleek management menus and intuitive controls will drive the immersive F1 fantasy home as you plan and execute the perfect strategy in F1 Manager 2022. Pre-order the digital version now for early access from August 25th.
Não é meu tipo de jogo.
Hey everyone, after 1 year of Chivalry 2, we've more than doubled the size of the game, and now we're excited to bring even more knights onto the battlefield. Because today, right now, Chivalry 2 is out on Steam with crossplay between all platforms. This is our biggest update to the game yet, and it brings players to an all-new desert theater of war, and best of all, brings us horses into Chivalry 2 in mounted combat. We want to thank our community for making the game the success that it's been so far, and if you haven't played it yet, now is the best time to check out Chivalry 2. Take a look at our new trailer that shows off the new update and its Nosian invasion.
This rebellion is at an end. The Agapians flee to their stronghold in the north. This land is mine! Now Denosia rises from the south. Kill them all! Throw the dogs back into the
Chivalry é um bagulho que me parece interessante, mas eu sinto que é uma coisa que eu não jogaria por muito tempo, tá ligado? Parece da hora, mas eu ia jogar umas 2 ou 3 partidas e ia cansar, e daqui 1 ano eu jogava 2 ou 3 partidas de novo. Então não vale a compra pra mim, tá? O esquema de luta é legal, mas é só multiplayer, então...
Long has Denosia remained safe from my fury. No more. They dare to strike out at us. Their cities will fall. Their people will bleed. Their knowledge will burn. My reign will never end.
The Nosian invasion.
Hi everyone, I'm Phil from Sweet Bandits, live from Quebec City. Really glad to be here today for the PC Gaming Show. We'll be showing the first trailer for our game, Deceive Inc. It's a multiplayer competitive spy game where you get to use social stealth, high-tech gadgets, and powerful spy abilities to try and get the upper hand. We've had the chance of working with Tripwire Presents on the project, so this is only the beginning. Please follow us on social media at Play Deceiving to learn more. We'll be releasing the game in early 2023 on PC, Xbox Series S and X, and PS5. Thank you so much, and let's enjoy the trailer.
Good afternoon, agents. Your mission is simple. Infiltrate the frozen coral underwater hotel and retrieve the blueprint of a powerful weapon. As you know, Deceive Inc.'s company policy is to deploy multiple agents to ensure the mission's success. But only one will get the paycheck. Do whatever it takes, agent, and be careful out there.
Try your best. Let's see if it's enough. Booyah! Ka-ching! Oh, come on. They can't be this fast.
And they thought it was secure. In the end, I am victorious.
They're really not gonna make it easy for me. Gotcha.
Is that it?
Right on target. Outskilled and outgunned.
It can't end like this.
Target acquired. Moving to rendezvous point. All done. Really?
Multiplayer disso vai ter uns tryhard. Mas vai ter uns tryhard muito chato. Talvez jogar entre amigos apenas, divertido. Jogar com aleatório vai ser tryhardice até dizer chega, tá ligado? Entre amigos pode ser divertido.
Let me ask you something. Do you ever have a reoccurring dream that you really wish would come true? I mean, mine personally involves a flight of unicorns and a Valkyrie army on Pegasuses, but you know, yours may be different, but you know, somehow I doubt it. This year, we've partnered with the PC builders at iBuyPower to bring a very different dream to life. My dream PC room. Unfortunately, there's bad news for me. I don't get to keep it. But very good news for one of you. We're going to be giving the entire contents of this room away to a lucky winner watching the show. So let's dive in and see what's up for grabs. The beating heart of any PC gaming dream room is, of course, the rig, so let's start there. As you can see, the mad geniuses at iBuyPower have built an absolute doozy. The first thing you'll notice is that height Y60 case with its wraparound tempered glass panels. This thing is built from the ground up to display the sickest PC tech you can squeeze into a desktop machine. And let's face it, if you've managed to bag a serious graphics card in these dry times, you owe it to the silicon gods to show it off properly. Okay, the case and lighting looks dope, but for this to be a true dream PC, we need more than just state-of-the-art drip. Luckily, the substance matches the style. So let's check out the guts of our dream PC, and trust me, there's plenty of power crammed in. The big question, though, is what pixel pusher iBuyPower has used, and you won't be disappointed with an overclocked RTX 3090 from Gigabyte, right? This 24GB monster of a GPU packs the cooling to stay chill and the power to smash through any game you throw at it. The graphics card is the rig's MVP, but any superstar needs some dope backup, and the fastest gaming CPU around, the Intel 5.5GHz Core i9 12900KS with 32GB of DDR5 RAM and 2TB of seriously fast SSD storage, both from ADATA, makes up
Quase
the
nada
perfect
usa
support
tudo
team.
que os DDR5 tem ainda.
Whew, that is a whole lot of PC.
Bem que
But Mika,
só,
you may greedily wonder, what about the peripherals? Well, animal lovers, we got you covered, because the Height Eclipse wireless headset comes in plush vegan leather trim with a 30-hour battery life and competition-grade 2.4GHz connection.
Nunca ouvi falar
and you
dessa
noisy
marca
typers
de
are going to
headset.
love the clicky-clacky mechanical keyboard that comes with it. Oh, I'm sorry, what was that? RGB? Well, of course! The keyboard and mouse both light up like Atlantic City on a Saturday night. And yeah, you can turn it off so you can actually get some sleep. You can find out more about this gear feature today over at iBuyPower.com, but I know what you really want to know. The info on how to win this beastly setup. So here are the details.
Thanks, Mika. Yes, folks, it couldn't be easier to enter our Dream PC giveaway. For your chance, just head over to pcgamer.com/dreampc and follow the simple instructions. There, you'll find a complete breakdown of the prize, which Don't worry, also comes with some very swish monitors as well as the eligibility rules. Good luck, gamers.
That is right, just head over to pcgamer.com/dreampc for your chance to win. But for now, let's get back to the games. From Kepler Interactive and A44 Games comes Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn, an action RPG from the team behind Ashen, where gods and guns collide.
Action RPG me interessa, mas tem que ser trailer interessante, né?
When the gods first emerged
Mas eles já mostraram isso em outro, no da Xbox, não?
Instead, they
é o mesmo trailer.
a pestilence on our world.
É o Plague Tale Wrecking.
I, for one,
Porra. Não, Plague Tale não, é o outro lá que não tinha, que não entendeu porra nenhuma. Falei merda, não é Plague Tale não, confundi, falei merda, confundi. Pareceu o Plague Tale naquele comecinho, mas tá, já vimos esse trailer sim. No da Xbox teve esse trailer. O mesmo trailer ainda por cima. Nem pra trazer um trailerzinho diferente, ô dicção. Eu pergunto como deve ter ficado o closed captions. É levemente... Não, é o mesmo trailer, Não é levemente diferente, não. Eu ia falar que é, mas não é não. Mesma coisa. Mesmíssimo trailer. Nem pra pôr levemente alguma coisinha diferente, tá ligado? O jogo parece legal, mas eu não entendi nada dele. É aquele ponto. Sim, parece interessante, só que, tipo, qual que é o seu objetivo? Além de matar os deuses. Qual que é a história? Tipo, por que essa personagem quer matar os deuses, por exemplo? É isso que eu quero saber, sabe? Tipo... Visualmente, com gameplay é legal.
I'm the CEO of A44 Games and creative director of Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn. Flintlock is set in a world ruled by old gods, and so as humanity, you now have the power of black powder and bombs and flintlock rifles to finally overthrow the gods and take the world back. You'll play as Nor, a Blackstream sapper, one of the elite explosives experts of the Coalition forces. Nor herself has a personal vendetta against the gods and will stop nothing to get her revenge. But she won't be going it alone. Where Nor brings firepower, her fox-like companion Enki brings magic to the battlefield. You will have to master a combination of axe combat and gunplay, while your companion Enki uses his magical powers to disrupt enemies. We can't wait to show you more of Flintlock before it's released next year. Head over to our socials for more info, and don't forget to wishlist now on Steam and Epic Game Store. Have a great show.
Coming up next, a mysterious new sci-fi game from 11-Bit Studios, the creators of This War of Mine. Hear all about it in our exclusive interview. We'll also show you what's next for Outriders from Square Enix and People Can Fly. Plus, if you look back on high school and think, you know, those 4 years would have been better if I was fighting literal demons, you're definitely going to want to study up on our next world-exclusive independent game inspired by the Persona series. Chug your health potions now because there is so much more PC gaming show coming your way. Before we go, the folks at Compass Data Centers have a little quiz for you. How much higher is 5G's data capacity compared to current 4G networks? Scan this QR code and answer the question for a chance to win $500 worth of stuff from Razer, or visit gaming.compassdatacenters.com.
Pera que eu sabia a diferença disso.
Now back to the PC gaming show.
Porque tem a ver com os gigahertz, tá ligado? Mas eu não vou saber responder e não vou atrás também.
Meet Mana. You slay. You achieve. You win. So should your bank account. Because your power shouldn't stop when the game does. Mana is the best gaming rewards debit card where you can earn perks and points by paying and playing and get rewarded with the things you actually want, like that skin you can't wait to show off or your next gear upgrade. So why pay any other way? Pay with Mana. Pay with power. Mana. Game the system.
So I know what you're thinking, and the answer is yes.
It's time to talk about The Alters, the brand new game from 11-Bit Studios. The Warsaw-based studio made us cry in this war of mine, make difficult choices in the face of climate apocalypse in Frostpunk, and battle encroaching corruption in Children of Morta.
Eu sei que
The Alters sends us to the deepest, darkest reaches of space. Esse último eu não vi, mas o Frostpunk e o Dissolve Mine eu vi. In a good way.
É jogo deles,
This is a really
interessante.
big moment for this year's show. I can't wait. Let's take a look.
Isso aí pode ser interessante. Os jogos deles são bons. Jogo de escolha é jogo pesado, tá ligado? Mas é bom. Pesado de emocionalmente, eu quero dizer, tá? Não de tamanho, obviamente. Ih, vai ser mais 3Dzão do que os outros? Não vai ser, tipo, os outros são mais 2Dzão, né? Quer dizer, isso pode ser só o trailer, né? Não vamos levar em consideração o trailer pra ter total certeza de como vai ser, porque isso não é gameplay nem fudendo. Nossa, achei que o cara era baixinho, mas é só que ele tá com uma camisa gigantesca, não dá pra ver as pernas dele direito. É ele? Todo mundo é ele. Ah, Project Dolly, é Dolly da ovelha lá que foi clonada? É um projeto de clonagem, mesmo. What the fuck, velho. Que bizarro. Alders, é isso? Não deu pra entender o que tava escrito ali. É Alders, eu acho, né? Alters. Alters, talvez. É, Alters the Game, ali pelo link lá embaixo dá pra ver.
Joining us now to talk about what we just saw all the way from Poland is Tomasz Kasilewicz of 11-Bit Studios. Welcome to the PC Gaming Show, and thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. Hello.
Okay, there is a lot to unpack there. We got clones, we got this huge wheel. Tell us, what did we just see?
Well, first of all, these guys were not exactly the clones. We saw Jan, our main character, who's traveling with a group of the Alters, who are the alternative versions of the same person. And they are going through this distant alien planet in their mobile base, which was the wheel you saw at the end.
So what's the player's goal as they're progressing through the story?
So you are a space builder stranded on this distant planet, and your goal is to survive and find a way back home. But the thing is, in order to do so, you need to create those alters, as each one of them have different set of skills and character traits. So these are things necessary for your survival and finding a way back home.
So from the trailer, tonally this could be a horror, a thriller, a mystery. What should players expect?
Actually, there are bits of everything you mentioned. Like, there is this mystery as we're looking deep into the soul of the character, but what you find there can also be pretty scary. So there are those beats of psychological horror and drama, but then on top of it we have this quite thick layer of surreality. I mean, how surreal would it be to one day, you know, wake up next to a little different alternative version of your very self?
Now, there's a quote that you shared with me earlier, that man cannot remake himself without suffering, for he is both the marble and the sculptor. How does this quote relate to the story?
So this quote, it relates directly to the main theme of our game. We as people, we are shaping ourselves every single day with every single decision that we are making. This process, the whole process of becoming who we are, it can be quite painful at times. But in our game, Jan, the main character, he has this unique possibility of not only shaping himself, but also reshaping himself numerous times with every single altar that he is creating.
Do you see this as more of a classic sci-fi story, something like a Ray Bradbury work, or is it something more contemporary?
Well, it is very classic sci-fi in a way that we are taking a relatable topic and we are using the sci-fi theme, we are using the sci-fi setting to look at it through the magnifying glasses. But then when we're choosing the tools, this is a very contemporary game and we're taking advantage of what video games are as a medium. So we're using tools like systematic design and non-linearity in order to put the players in the middle of the experience and in the end allow them to create their own stories inside the game.
I wanted to ask a little bit about the relationship of your previous titles to the altars, whether there's any narrative or themes or even just influence that those games had on this one.
Well, the altars is purely 100% our game, 11-bit Studios game, and it's created in line with our meaningful entertainment philosophy. So it's a game we hope that it will make you think even after you stop playing it. This War of Mine was this first huge milestone.
O War of Mine é que eu tenho interesse em jogar.
And with Frostpunk, it was taken to another level with the strong focus on the emergent narrative. And now with the altars, we want to follow that path, but we also really want to push the boundaries even further and expand on how we approach meaningful topics inside the design of our games.
Thanks so much again to Tomasz and the whole team at 11-Bit Studios for joining us this year. And while I try to find enough Rapidium to make it through day 1 to 8, let's head on over to Mika Burton and keep things rolling like a massive space station.
Thanks, Day9. Honestly, I need to look into getting myself cloned so I can make time to play all of these awesome games we've seen so far. But I'm also legitimately worried about having to eventually fight my clone in single-handed
Escada deu na transmissão mesmo, né? Não foi no meu monitor, eu acho.
Clone all along. Is it really worth it for video games? Yeah, no, it's totally worth it for video games. Anyway, that's a problem for future Mika. Present Mika is much more interested in what you all have been saying about the show so far. So keep letting us know your thoughts by using #PCGamingShow on all platforms. Now, let's get back to the real reason all here. Cloning. I mean video games. Video games.
Eles estão tentando umas piadinhas, né? Eles estão tentando, só não tá legal mesmo. Esse é aquele Outriders, né? Que a gente viu no da Sony ou no Summer Game Fest? Acho que foi Summer Game Fest. Eu acho que foi Summer Game Fest que a gente viu. A gente já tinha visto isso. É muito trailer. Ah, isso aí é o Potion Craft, né? Eu vi o Phelps jogando isso aí. O quê?
Sure. When Tiny Build lets you open your own medieval potion shop, you get hailed as a master alchemist. But when I do it, I get a sternly worded letter from my landlord about how my call violates our lease agreement. Whatever, it's his loss. But more importantly, folks, we promise you the maximum amount of games humanly possible, and we aim to deliver quite literally.
Achei que tava surpreso com o jogo. Que porra é essa? Que porra é essa? É um jogo de tiro de bichinho fofinho, é isso? What the fuck? Animal Royale, é um Battle Royale de... Tá. É. Me perdeu no fator Battle Royale, assim. É. E cara, é pra aparecer o Bruce Lee mesmo? Ou pelo menos lembrar? Com carta o jogo? What the fuck? Que isso? Nitro Kid.
Before your eyes lies the Celestial Islands, a world of peace above the clouds, protected by 4 great houses.
O pessoal tá gostando do sistema de carta, né? Pô, pior que mijar, já ter de mijar antes do evento começar, mano. Agora fudeu, eu tenho mais 1h20 mais ou menos aí ainda. É 1h20, né? É 1h20. Tô tentando fazer as contas na cabeça, sou lerdo, né? Marroquense. Não entendi nada desse jogo. Eu sei que você tem cartinha após os poderes.
Our beautiful home. To protect it, we must reach out to explore the unknown. Our team of experts is presently probing the deep sea in a struggle against the yoke of overregulation. These security and defense innovations allow you to shrink any problem down to size. We surge forward, obliterating the enemies of progress, but we refuse to let these victories go to our heads.
É um Left 4 Dead de BioShock? Ah, tá, é uma DLC do Killing Floor, por isso que é...
And now it's time to give you an exclusive briefing on what's next for one of PC gaming's titans of modding, simulation, and scale. Arma 4. Last month, developer Bohemia Interactive kicked things off by releasing Arma Reforger on Steam in early access. This playable prototype will be a foundation for Arma 4.
Eles vão fazer o Arma 4.
Now, we have a ton of questions about the future of Arma.
O Arma 3 é o melhor simulador de tiro que existe.
Survival genre through DayZ. Oh, and also this other little niche genre you may have heard of called Battle Royale to help us peer into the future for this project. We've got none other than Bohemia Interactive. Thank you so much for joining us. So as of right now, Arma Reforger has been out for about a month. What is it that you've been learning or seeing from players?
At first, we've learned that players like Reforger a lot and they appreciate the work we've put into it. We also realized they like modding a lot and they really view this as a key quality.
É DLC, eu não tinha sacado que era DLC.
And,
Killing Floor, eu nunca joguei muito Killing Floor, eu joguei um pouco do primeiro.
And the new players who immediately started flooding the internet with videos, playthroughs and praise of our new technology, so we are very glad that the reception was so good.
So there's no doubt players who have been longtime fans of the franchise stepping into Arma Reforger, and I'm curious, what were some of the big challenges of rebuilding that specific Arma feel from the ground up in this brand new engine?
Well, it's a very tricky subject because even internally it's an ongoing kind of fight. So I'm myself very much on the very purist side of things. So no HUD, no save games, no superficial helpers. And this fight can get very intense even in-house. So I'm the real Arma purist and I'm on this for 25 years now, so I will keep fighting, but obviously this is part of the fun. So there's always never-ending battle. I think 2 years ago we really struggled to keep it Arma and even internally preserve our own standards. So do it our own way rather than replicating what's maybe normal in other games, because our goal is not to make the same game as all other games. So our goal is to remain unique.
I'm curious if you can speak to what the main goals of Reforger is, because it's a little unusual compared to other releases. I mean, for instance, how much content should a player expect if, say, they've been playing Arma 3 for years?
Our goals were, of course, to restart the series from technological standpoint, really make room for some new achievements, utilize the technology which is state of the art, both in terms of how it looks like.
Mano, o Killing Floor 1 é interessantinho, mas ele tem um sistema mais de ondas do que o Left 4 Dead, tá ligado? Eu não sou um grande fã do Killing Floor. Tipo, se eu tivesse que escolher Killing Floor ou Left 4 Dead, eu vou de Left 4 Dead, fácil. Sem falar que Left 4 Dead tem oficina, workshop, né? Então você tem um monte de mapa incrível, diferente. A gente precisa jogar mais Left 4 Dead agora que vocês vão estar com PC bom, a gente pode jogar uns mapas da hora. Sem medo de travar, tá ligado? Jogar aquele mapa do Resident Evil que você não conseguiu jogar.
Well, yes, because it's extremely close to us. We even live in a way very nearby, so definitely. On the other hand, we started work on this many years ago, so the direction was set before. But we always approach conflicts and armed conflicts with a great level of respect. We're still at the beginning, but we definitely would like to continue in our exploring this serious theme.
Arma, as I see it, has always been a bit more of a anti-war game. It's an entertainment product. That's fair thing to admit. On the other hand, given the topic, given our, let's say, maturity and long time we've spent on it, and our ambition to portray it as a whole very complex and gritty thing, I would like us to contribute by not just entertaining people, but also educating them on the subject. This was the whole point of starting the cooperation with the International Committee of the Red Cross, and I believe we have great potential, big responsibility in this area, and a very important chance to contribute at least a little bit to the good side of things.
This would not be an interview about Arma unless we were asking about modding. I mean, so many amazing games and genres came from Arma mods, so I gotta know what's possible in Reforger that wasn't possible in the past.
Now with this technology, it's possible to create entirely different things, like entirely different games. It has so many variables, but the beauty now is that much more of it is user accessible, unlike the previous games. So people
isso é legal, o quão é modificável. O PUBG que começou essa coisa de Battle Royale veio dali, né? Veio do Arma. DayZ, essas coisas tudo do Arma.
So now they can check the data of every single element of the game and go much deeper than in previous games. So this will be super exciting.
Now, I wanted to ask a little bit about performance, because anyone who's played Arma knows that it can get really challenging to get a good frame rate in those massive multiplayer matches. So I'm curious, what expectations should players have about performance leading into Arma 4?
Arma 3 was built on foundations laid down in times of single core and no GPUs, basically. So this time much more computations and intensive rendering things can be done directly on GPU, but it required completely a new approach.
Again, we are in the beginning and we know that there are problems, there are difficulties, but we are solving them one by one. We are really gathering community feedback and even our own definitely feedback, so we are moving things forward. And yeah, it's about optimization. It's not that much about FPS, but also for like network traffic, for instance. When you have this massive multiplayer game, it's a huge challenge. Server performance, of course, and all the technical things. So we are moving forward.
Thank you so much again, Bohemia Interactive, for giving us the inside scoop on both Arma Reforger and Arma 4. Now, you don't go anywhere, because here is what's around the corner.
Just around the corner in the PC gaming show, prepare to experience terror ranging from the subaqueous to the subconscious with the latest from Shiro Games. Hold on to your butts because front-end development spared no expense on the new Jurassic World Evolution 2 expansion, and get your crowbars ready for Half-Life Alyx Levitation, a special project from some very talented modders. Oh modders, what would PC gaming be without you? While we're here, quick geography question. Which parts of the world use the most bandwidth for gaming? Answer this question for the folks at Compass Data Centers and it could win you a $500 Razer gift card. Scan the QR code on the screen to enter.
A China deve estar diminuindo porque a China começou com as leis deles lá, né? Infelizmente.
But the publisher has a lot more than its medieval sandbox RPG on the way. Up next, we'll hear what's up with Shiro's slate of projects, and stick around for the debut of 2 completely new games, Decarnation and Abyssals.
Hey everyone, thank you very much for the invitation, Mika. I'm James, and I can't wait to show you everything that we've got prepared.
Se eles vão continuar mostrando as coisas sem ter intervalo para anúncios e tal, por que eles põem que vai ter o negócio? Tá bem menos enrolado que os outros anos, mas tipo, ficar meio século numa mesma tela mostrando coisa e logo de jogo, você perde tempo. E fazer esse coming up e essa, tipo, pra falar o que vem depois, sendo que literalmente vem logo depois, você não precisa, mano. Você não precisa mesmo disso. Sem falar que as transições deles são mais longas do que, sei lá, enormes. Eles poderiam reduzir isso pra quase 1h30 se cortassem essas partes de enrolação, tá ligado? Isso aí consome muito tempo do vídeo no final das contas.
Long-standing alliances have been broken. Violence and betrayal now plague the continent.
Não tá ruim, esse evento tá muito mais interessante do que de outros anos, vale dizer. Por enquanto tá o melhor até agora da PC Gamer, vai. Não posso negar esse fator aí. Mas ainda assim,
This
né?
Northgard expansion arrives this winter. And for all of our War Tales players out there, Cooperative is finally coming to our open world tactical RPG. You share food, gold, and camp with your friends. But you can split up to cover more grounds. Before every fight, devise the perfect strategy to overcome any threats that may stand in your way. But be careful in your approach, as one wrong move may lead to your group's demise. The co-op update will allow you to play between 2 to 4 players, and it will be available this summer.
A co-op é legal, mas é um jogo que não me interessa. Mas é legal ter co-op. Façam jogos co-ops. Devs.
And we are very proud to announce 2 new titles coming from the Shiro Unlimited family.
It seemed like our last chance to start again.
Sabe o que eu quero ver? Quando vão anunciar trailer de Witchbrook, mano.
We used our limited resources to lay the foundations of a new life deep below the waves of this strange new planet.
But soon, we realized it was not the dream world we had hoped for.
Assim, sem falar, né? Mas o Witchbrook nós vamos tudo comprar no lançamento pra jogar no lançamento, né? Eu quero dizer isso, assim, pelo amor de Deus, né?
Isolated.
Bizarro. Absolve. Well, nice expense survive. São jogos que não chamam atenção desse tipo assim, nada contra, mas esse aí talvez possa ser interessante. Tava na cara que ia dar merda, que vai ser um joguinho de boninha. What the fuck, mano? Ah, esse jogo me atrai. Eu gosto de jogo assim. Não jogo tanto, mas gosto. What the fuck, velho? Decarnation.
Thank you very much for sticking with us, everyone. We hope you enjoy the rest of the show.
Ó, tipo, meio século nesse Thank You for Watching.
You just saw why you were exactly right to be afraid of the ocean. In Abyssals. And you confronted your inner demons in the retro dream horror of decarnation. Next up, how do you rebuild a city in a world set after the collapse of civilization? Let's find out how by taking a look at I Am Future from TinyBuild.
Isso, essa tem que ser assim a transição. Aí, mano, se fosse o evento inteiro assim, tava ótimo. Tava ótimo, velho. Não tinha treta. I Am Future é a continuação do I Am Fish, é tipo isso?
Warning, hibernation aborted. Your total hibernation time was 6
Como tem nada a ver, eu não sei se o I Am Fish é da... Mas eu acho que é da TNG.
Your new home.
I have no idea where the hell I am. But damn, this place is gorgeous.
Caralho, o braço dele é todas as ferramentas numa só. I Am Future. Caralho! Minhoca foi filha da puta, irmão. Ela foi comida, né? Ela tem o direito de se vingar.
Our forefathers conquered Calderia and bestowed it upon us, a new generation, to share or spar over.
Our great houses seek to obtain the Emperor's favor, cultivating our lands and subjects to improve and enrich the realm. Beginning with
Mas é jogo de management, né?
of course.
É totalmente jogo de
Can be
management.
secured through strength as well as delicacy.
Will you be able to build your legacy of power?
Join the great houses of Calderia.
And now, for these next trailers, it's true. They do move in herds.
Por que você já não começou com óculos de sol pra fazer a piada, hein, amiga? Mas assim, essas piadas estão muito ruins, mano. Essas tentativas de piadinha deles estão muito ruins. Estão muito. Estão muito. Tá muito forçado. Não, é o... Jurassic World, né? Quando eu tô com vontade de mijar, mas eu tô tomando água, né? Vai ser maravilhoso. Terminar o evento, eu vou explodir no banheiro, mas tranquilo. 14 de junho essa semana, daqui 2 dias. Na terça, na verdade.
PC Gamer. Humans interfacing with computers
for their own entertainment. The very notion disgusts me.
Look upon my works, foul creatures,
and weep at its magnificence. It is a beautiful day on Citadel Station.
Humanity is
on the verge of a new era. I, Shodan, am its new
god.
Look at you, hacker. A pathetic creature of meat and bone. How can you challenge a perfect, immortal machine?
You are an insect.
You are nothing. I create. I iterate. I fuse flesh and steel into perfection.
É inspirado em Doom pra caralho, né?
My children. Their blood
Doom,
is
talvez
on
Dead
your
Spacezinho, né?
hands.
You will suffer for your transgressions.
These are my avenging angels, and they will have retribution.
System Shock. A música de elevador, mano.
What an incredible and frankly horrifying trailer. Developed by Night Dive Studio, System Shock is the return of a beloved, acclaimed sci-fi saga. Today, to take us even further inside the world of System Shock, I am thrilled to welcome the one and only Warren Spector. Thanks so much for joining us, Warren.
Hey, thanks for having me. This is going to be fun.
In terms of trying to translate the experience of a game from 1994, 3 decades later to now, what doesn't carry over well?
The first thing is the graphics, obviously. We did the best we could, but it was pretty primitive back then. And the other one is the user interface. If you look at when the game opened, the original, a help screen that came up, and it filled the entire screen with text. It's just insane. I don't know how the guys at Night Dive did it. It's amazing. But frankly, as I think back on it, the game actually holds up pretty well. I'm excited to see it come back.
Just wondering if you think many modern gamers are aware of the impact that System Shock has had in terms of gameplay systems, in terms of narrative structure, on so many games that came after it.
I'm not sure people see the influence, which is
eu nem sabia que esse jogo existia, então.
But I think the rest of the world is going to get the chance now to experience it, and I think they'll see not just that they're having fun playing this game, but also see that other games followed in its footsteps.
Nowadays, we walk around with computers in our pockets. We're worried about the evil of algorithms. How do you think about a character like Shodan in 2022?
Shodan seems far too close to reality to me right now, and let's just hope that she doesn't show up
eu já vi esse rosto.
Back in 1994.
Tá, nossa, eu nem sabia que era desse troço. Eu já vi esse rosto. Caralho.
To return back to that
Nossa, é onde mesmo? Eu nunca soube que isso era um jogo.
I can't wait to return to that world. I forgot right? Basically the fans know way more about the game than I do now, so it'll be a new experience for me too.
Thank you so much again, Warren Spector, for joining us to talk all things System Shock. I personally can't wait for the game to come out, though. It might completely ruin my sleep schedule, but before I spiral further, here are some more games to cram into your eyeballs.
Since the first pioneers changed the harshest aspects of our world, every generation has upheld the solemn promise of our forefathers, that the rise of Titan would forever be without misery or bloodshed. We seek nothing from the solar system but a lasting amity of reason and justice. To see a war
muito jogo de espaço, né, mano? Eu falei isso na Summer Game Fest e repito aqui, muito jogo de espaço, velho. Teve mais no da Xbox, teve mais aqui, tipo, caralho, o pessoal tá, o tema virou espaço sideral agora, né? A cada ano tem sempre um tema repetido, né, tipo, sempre acaba tendo.
The war between Mars and Titan devastated our solar system. Lead the survivors to Demarat, where you will continue following frontiers.
Sci-fi RTS, RTS não é pra mim não. Isso aí a gente já viu também. Isso aí a gente já viu também, vamos trailer. Trailer repetido é foda. Vocês não podem falar, mas às vezes o cara não assistiu outros eventos, mas mano, PC Gamer é o evento que o pessoal menos assiste. Os outros, Summer Game Fest, Xbox Bethesda, State of Play, todo mundo assiste, são os famosos. O PC Gamer é que tem menos gente assistindo. Então, eles têm que ter algo pra, tipo, você vai ver o mesmo que você já viu antes? Foda-se, né? Tem que ter algo de... Na verdade, tudo tem que ser o diferencial, não pode ser só uma coisa. Trazer o mesmo trailer, tipo, são momentos inúteis da PC Gamer trazendo o mesmo trailer, entendeu? Se for o mesmo jogo, mas com um trailer levemente diferente ou com uma informaçãozinha diferente sobre o jogo, beleza, mas fora isso...
All right, gamers, good work. You've made it here to a site of grace, or a bonfire, or a sculptor's idol, or a lamp. Make sure you're staying hydrated, replenish your potions, and most importantly, keep letting us know what games you're excited about using hashtag #PCGamingShow. I mean, personally, I can't wait to play The Altars. Ah, good. Now that we're all rested up, feeling good, it's time to enjoy a slice of that lovely cyberpunk life, courtesy of Nivalis, and experience the investigative horror of immortality, the latest from the mind of Sam Barlow.
E essa transição gigante não precisa, tá ligado? Essa transição aí só é perder de tempo.
I believe we have a short clip here. Do you want to tell us what we're about to see?
Well, I don't want to spoil things too much.
Ah, é aqueles jogos que tem atores reais, você pode checar as coisas. Isso é legal, eu gosto de jogo assim.
Does this work as confession?
Good work. That's fabulous.
Now it's worth more.
Did you ever read his diary?
Eu gosto de jogo assim, mano. Eu curto. Eu preciso jogar mais jogos assim, mano. Eu quase não jogo isso. Eu tenho um jogo de... um jogo desses na Steam já. Tenho 2, na verdade. Eu quero jogar em live. Preciso pegar uns dias pra jogar. Mortality é o nome do jogo também, mesmo assim, mas só achei que era só uma coisa mais... Mano, interessante.
Take a break. You should take a break. No.
Em 3 de julho, nossa, tá bem perto.
Hey, boss. Time to wake up. We got customers waiting. What do you mean you don't know where to start? Let's clean this place up. Move some
fazer uma
chairs and
lanchonete
tables
cyberpunk, é
around.
isso?
We can make this place shine again. If the weather gets bad, we can grow some veg in the greenhouse. Once we start making real money, well, then you can rent that fancy new apartment in Midtown. So make friends, make enemies. If customers are rude, just turn on the old charm. Or water down their drinks. I'm not your conscience.
Pode ser
This is
divertido.
a world to explore, to make stories. Your story.
Tem é management, mas é com mundo aberto. Isso é legal. Isso é da hora. Acho divertidinho. Tudo RGB? Ah, Cyberpunk é RGB, né, mano? Basicamente.
Welcome to Nivalis.
Nivalis. Ao invés de bar, você abre bar.
I'm Marco.
And I'm Roman.
At Ironlands, we are big fans of cyberpunk fiction and games, but we have our own ideas of what a cyberpunk world can be. This is a game in which you manage your restaurant, bar or nightclub, take care of your staff, make deals, farm, and experience the stories of the people you meet.
Or maybe you just want to take the day off and go fishing at the docks instead. Nivalis primarily uses voxel art for the environments. We spend lots of time creating a unique atmosphere with high levels of detail and dynamic elements.
Parece um joguinho divertido pra você passar o tempo, tá ligado?
Can't wait to see the choices you'll make and how you'll choose to live your life when you come visit us in Nivalis. You can wishlist Nivalis now on Steam and the Epic Game Store.
Mana is the gaming rewards debit card that puts the power back in the hands of players. So with every quest you complete and every purchase you make, you're earning for the rewards you actually want. We make it easy for you to set up and start. Just sync your favorite games to your Mana account and start earning real-life rewards the next time you play. So why pay any other way? Pay with mana. Pay with power. Mana. Game the system.
Get ready to overclock your eyeballs, because this next trailer is coming in hotter than my computer with 3 Chrome tabs.
A propaganda serviu fazer propaganda da mana da minha live também, foi isso? Microsoft? Acho que é só o nome da empresa. Fazer parceria com ela, pra vocês. O foda é que é cartão de débito, mano. Se fosse cartão de crédito, até seria interessante, mas é de débito, eu não tenho dinheiro, velho. Não tenho o que pôr. Eu faria um cartão deles pra não ter, tá ligado? A parceria seria bom, mano. Seria nice, só que não rola, né? Esse é o jogo que eles falaram que é inspirado por Persona, é isso? Tem a vibe de Persona, mas é um pouco mais RTS, eu diria, né? O cansaço tá batendo, viu? Demon School, eles tinham falado já.
You just saw Demon School from Welsh developer Isbrid Games, and now it's time to take a bit of a spooky transition. If you're at home, turn on all the lights in the room, make sure the salt circle is unbroken, and check to see that your door is properly painted with sacrificial lamb's blood, because things are about to get certifiably terrifying. Let's look at the H.R. Giger-inspired biopunk horror, Scorn.
Desolate and decayed. A grisly nightmare of
Mais é o terceiro já repetido.
Greetings. I'm your host, Doug
É o terceiro, né?
And I invite you to join me as we explore Scorn's mesmerizing labyrinth of odd forms and somber tapestries.
Lá, você fala? Pode ser.
You awake in the middle of a desolate hellscape filled with biomechanical contraptions, part flesh, part machine. An industrial civilization now lying in decay and ruin. A hidden fauna sleeps within the underbelly of the world.
Vai passar de 3, vai ter mais 3 repetido.
Than to be left
tem mais o que? 50 minutos de evento?
Scorn né? Has been carefully crafted with
iria até às 6h30, né? Para dar 2 horas que eles falaram. Vai repetir mais trailer. Eu chuto que vai repetir pelo menos uns 2 a mais ainda.
Organic ecosystem to an unsettling soundscape created by Ethek and Lustmord. Scorn has no dialogue, so most of the storytelling comes from the environment, discovering the ever-present symbiotic relationships and how things are connected equips you with the tools to progress. While there is shooting within the game, Scorn is not a shooter. Every encounter must be carefully considered. A wrong choice could be deadly. I hope you've enjoyed this glimpse into the twisted world of Scorn. The team at Ebb Software can't wait for you to uncover the secrets
of this diferença desse é que tem alguém narrando e falando as coisas por trás, falando sobre o jogo, né? E não muda nada.
Are you prepared to unravel your inner self within Scorn's world of horror.
Ah, esse jogo não me atraiu tanto, não. Até porque não fez muito sentido no geral pra mim.
Now, while I've been delightedly playing Dune Spice Wars, harvesting melange,
Por que às vezes ele tá de fone e às vezes ele tá sem fone, mano? Eu sei que isso não é ao vivo, eu sei que isso foi gravado já e tal, mas... Por que às vezes ele tá com, às vezes ele tá sem?
In this brutal third-person shooter, you once again step into the oversized power armor of Titus, an elite Primaris space marine in a galaxy immersed in a never-ending war. To take us further inside the grimdark, I am joined by Tim Willits and Oliver Hollis, the creative director, on Warhammer 40k Space Marine.
Não, esse não tá tão ruim.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Eles poderiam ter condensado mais coisas, como eu falei.
Good to be here.
Now, Tim, I want to start with
Eles
you.
poderiam ter feito, tipo,
at id
como eu falei,
Software on Doom.
essas
How would you say the Space Marine
entrevistas
compares to
são
Doom Guy?
pouca enrolação, mas ok. Mas se eles cortassem o tempo que fica na tela de título de um jogo pra caralho e tal, né? Aí depois fazia as transições mais curtas, já diminuía pelo menos uns 20 minutos de evento, bobeado.
Space
Marine
muito,
uns 15 pelo menos diminuía.
And I know that it's inspired so many other video games throughout the last 25, 30 years.
Oh, absolutely. And there's so much lore to sift through. And I think this brings us to talk a little bit about the new Space Marine that you're going to get to play, a Primaris Space Marine. Oliver, talk to us a little bit about Captain Titus and what makes this class of Space Marine different from the others in the universe.
So the Space Marine is a brainchild of the Emperor, the kind of leader of this of humanity in the grimdark future. He saw the dangers that the universe presented, and he created a super soldier from his own DNA. And each of these different factions, these different chapters, have different genetic traits of the Emperor. But what makes the Primaris different is that a guy named Belisarius Cawl, the Emperor's kind of chief scientist, went back, did some digging in the old data, and found a way to enhance the qualities that a Space Marine has by installing new devices, new kind of bio implants in their body. So now these guys are 2.5 meter tall monsters capable of destroying anything in their path.
It's reminding me of the 1,000 times I have rewatched the Astartes animation.
That's amazing.
It's so exciting. It's so exciting that we now get to be in that position to play that kind of character. And in the trailer, we saw a lot of Tyranids. Are they the main enemy that you're going to be against? And if so, what makes them such a compelling foe?
In this particular game, the Tyranids are the main focus, and what makes them compelling is that they are extragalactic locust-like creatures. They've come in from goodness knows where. They spread like wildfire. They devour everything in their path, and they leave nothing in their wake.
So one of the great things about the Tyranids is they come in the thousands, and our proprietary engine, the Saber Swarm engine, can deliver these epic battles. Now we will have thousands of Tyranids, and you will rip and tear through them all.
I mean, that is so thrilling, because this is the sort of thing that older games couldn't even hope to do. And you're talking a little bit about combat. I know that some of the previous entries were more melee focused. What's the combat like in Space Marine 2?
So the combat in Space Marine 2 is a mix of in-your-face melee combat along with some really cool over-the-top weapons. So you know, we looked at, you know, the original Space Marine game where it had a lot of this push-forward combat, which has inspired many other video games. But never stop, never take cover combat is integral to Space Marine 2, along with, you know, these really cool, powerful weapons. So you're either tearing up enemies in front of you, or you're blowing them away from the back of the battlefield. It's the best of both worlds.
I mean, that sounds so terrific. And I mean, I know you guys are huge fans of the 40K lore, so I'm curious about, in working on this project, what's been the most fun seeing come together, and what's Saber Interactive focusing on right now?
Right at the beginning of the project, Tim and I went to the Warhammer Museum, which was an incredible experience. And you go around all these cabinets where these incredible miniatures that have been painted by these masters are arranged in these dioramas. You find yourself kind of crouching down and looking into the ranks of Space Marines that are facing Tyranids or Orcs or whatever. And something that Tim and I said at that moment was, we need to make this come alive. I don't want to look at this, I want to be inside this. I want to be gunning down Tyranids by the thousands. And so seeing that actually happen and come alive has been thrilling.
Am I going to feel like the characters in the Astartes animation? Because if so, then I'm buying the game immediately.
Even more so, when you're wielding one of those massive weapons and you're faced with 1,000 Tyranids who all want to eat you alive, and you're just letting rip and you can see shell casings bursting out of these massive weapons one after another. The sound, the gameplay, the way it feels is all designed to make you feel like the most powerful warrior in the universe.
Eu nunca joguei Warhammer.
That answers everything. Thank you so much, Tim and Oliver from Saber Interactive, for joining us. I can't wait. Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2 comes to PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and S soon. Now next, we have a few more surprises for you up the sleeves of our proverbial power armor. First, Replicant D6's homage to the golden days, or should I say, golden eyes of 90s console shooters, and an atmospheric sci-fi adventure on the Red Planet from Frontier Developments and Kyoken Interactive. Let's take a look.
É jogo estilo Play 1 de tiro. Agent 64 Fight Number 9.
Sarah? Ryan? This is Kathy. Can you hear me? Please come in.
Mission Opera has only one objective. Bring the Arcs and their revolutionary technology.
Mais jogo de espaço também, né, mano? Pelo amor de Deus.
Here we go, Opera Team. The journey of 1,000 miles begins.
Quem gosta de jogo no espaço deve estar louco, né, atualmente.
I need to know that when we get there, you'll make the right decision.
É uma larinha no espaço? Isso?
We can do this.
É muito uma larinha no
What do you
espaço.
expect to find on Mars?
Oliver's Mars.
Hi, my name's Elise Chappell, and I play Kathy Johansson in the out-of-this-world sci-fi epic Deliver Us Mars. Join Kathy and the crew of the Zephyr on an unmissable adventure as they journey to the Red Planet to recover technology vital to the survival of Earth and humankind. Deliver Us Mars is set to land on September 27th and is available to pre-order now on PlayStation, Xbox, Steam, and the Epic Games Store.
Stay a while.
Ah, combina também essa porra é enrolação.
To this list of games still to come, the team behind Half-Life Alyx Levitation will put their mod where their mouth is, and then it's paradox time. Not as in us creating an actual time paradox, we're going to show you the latest from Victoria 3. Plus, you can literally scare your entire butt off with the creeping horror of Gloomwood. All this and more in just a moment, but first, a final pop quiz for all you Valorant, CSGO, and League of Legends players. How much has esports revenue increased since 2016? Compass Data Centers wants to hear your guess, and you can scan this QR code on the screen for a chance to win a $500
Coisa pra caralho, você tá
card.
considerando literalmente os anos que mais bombaram esportes na história, velho.
Alright, and now, back to the show.
Up next, we're going to take a look at Stormgate, the highly anticipated real-time strategy game from Frost Giant.
Stormgate nós já vimos, vamos ver se vai ter de novo.
Is going to sit down with some of the game developers to ask the hard-hitting questions like, when can we play this already?
Será que vai ser o mesmo trailer da Summer Game Fest? Aí vai ser o quarto já, hein? Eu falei que tinha 5 no total.
Two years ago, our team assembled with a shared vision to build a brand new real-time strategy game. Together, we've been fortunate to work on some of the greatest RTS games of all time, and now we have a chance to do it again by creating the next evolution of that legacy. Today, we are so excited to share a first glimpse of Stormgate, an exclusive sneak peek into the universe and game that we've been creating for you. Stormgate takes place in an all-new post-apocalyptic setting where science fiction and fantasy collide. Our story begins hundreds of years in Earth's future, following the near extinction of humanity. This great calamity was caused by the Infernal Host, a playable alien race of demonic invaders that are hell-bent on claiming this planet as their own. With our story, we are creating an ever-expanding game universe, told through an ongoing series of campaign missions that you can play solo or cooperatively. New chapters will come out
pelo menos no mesmo trailer, vai,
along with new units, maps, modes, and plenty of other surprises. In addition to campaign missions, we're building a world-class competitive experience with grassroots and professional tournaments accessible from directly within the game. There will be different leagues suitable for all levels of experience.
Oh yeah.
In our new 3-player co-op versus AI mode, you'll level up your heroes, collect rewards, and customize your forces to open up new styles of gameplay and long-term variety. Stormgate will be free to play, but not pay to win, and there will be no NFTs. Beta testing starts next year, and you can sign up now to reserve your place in line at playstormgate.com.
Mas infelizmente os jogos têm que falar que não vai ter NFT.
You might happen to know that I'm a huge fan of real-time strategy games. StarCraft is my favorite game. I played it for 25 years. I still play it, and that's why I am so thrilled today to be talking to Frost Giant Studios. They're a group of amazing developers who have worked on literally my favorite games of all time. And we're here to talk about their brand new, free-to-play, real-time strategy game set in a post-apocalyptic Earth. It's Stormgate. And here to talk about it is the CEO and production director at Frost Giant, Tim Morton. Thanks for joining us, Tim.
Thank you so much for having me here.
I want to know about the world. I want to know about the game. Tell us, what is Stormgate?
All right, this is our first game as a new studio. And it is classic real-time strategy, but designed to be more social. We build the game in a universe that ties everything together, but provide different kinds of experiences for players who like different kinds of gameplay. So we've got cooperative campaign mode, also play open-ended co-op, but if you're somebody who really enjoys competition, we've got 1 versus 1, high skill, competitive. And those are very different ways to play in some ways, but they're also all unified by the universe, by the races, by the units. So you really get a sense for how to enjoy the game.
And I'm curious a little bit about that core gameplay, because obviously in all these modes you're going to be collecting money, building bases, building units, and so on. And I know that for you, the game feeling really good and really smooth to play is super important. Now, obviously, I come from a time where if the pathfinding is bad, we call that high skill opportunity. But I mean, how do you think about getting the controls, the motions, just the feel of the game to feel good in 2022?
Yeah, it's interesting that RTS is one of the only genres I can think of where you have to have hundreds, even thousands of units synchronized over the network and responsive in a way that high skill, like pro esports players feel good about playing the game. That's not easy. It does require custom technology. There's no engine that you buy off the shelf that does that for you. So we definitely started knowing that and having the benefit of our chief architect, James Anhalt, who did that work previously on StarCraft 2. So we've put a lot of effort into that for sure.
And this is going to be one of the first major RTSs people are aware of that is on Unreal Engine 5. What is it like working in this next generation engine?
It's pretty incredible how far things have come from a graphics perspective, and I think the art team is unlocked in so many ways by what Unreal provides. So we're very excited. We're still learning everything that Unreal can do for us, but even that first cinematic that we debuted, like that's done in Unreal. So the high quality graphics that you're seeing are actually coming from Unreal as an engine.
So you've talked a little bit about, for new players, making the game feel a little more approachable, a little bit more streamlined, but obviously, StarCraft, real-time strategy has this astonishingly long history as a competitive game, as an esport. And I'm curious, how is your team going to approach that?
So a lot of the emphasis around our thinking has been focused on what are things that we can add, especially around the gameplay experience. And one of those things is more seamless integration with esports. I mean, being able to sign up, participate in tournaments directly from the client in a way that gives players, even if you're not like top grandmaster, ready to take on Cyril, there's still an opportunity to be the best on your block or the best at your company or the best at your school. So we want to facilitate esports all the way from grassroots level up to the pro level directly in the client.
So, of course, in the history of RTS games, a really important component of them has always been mods. I mean, Warcraft 3, there's players that didn't even play the original game. They just did custom mode after custom mode. Does Stormgate have modding? How are you thinking about the modding community?
A number of members of the Frost Giant team actually came out of the modding community. The team as a whole is very passionate about it. From the outset, we started out applying resources to build a custom editor. I think there's a lot of opportunity to make improvements to the editing experience for RTS. We are also working on the infrastructure for people to be able to share their mods with each other. So it's really core to us.
Ter mods é sempre muito bom para jogos. Isso aí eu não sou contra nenhum jogo. Os jogos têm que dar suporte para mods, porque mods fazem a vida do jogo ser muito maior.
We are going to start our beta in 2023. We already have
Ainda mais para jogos desse estilo assim, tá ligado? Se você zerar ele, você acaba não tendo mais o que fazer. Com mods você se diverte mais. Por exemplo, um Left 4 Dead não estaria vivo até hoje sem mods. Portal, nem fudendo, tá ligado? Skyrim.
Stormgate, the upcoming free-to-play RTS from Frost Giant Studios. I'm personally
super pumped to play
jogo
it. Que vive por conta dos mods.
PlayStormgate.com. Now, Tim, I'm going to do a transition to the next game. Are you ready? This is going to be good. Watch this. It's going to be so sick. Next, we're going to show you Leysara, Summit Kingdom from Quite OK Games. Now, as someone who has spent a medically inadvisable amount of time playing strategy games of all sorts, this looks incredibly up my alley. And it looks a lot safer than my last attempt to create society in the mountains. 2 words to yodeling accident. Let's check it out.
A cara do outro, tipo, então, né? Eu tô só aqui porque eu tenho que estar, porque eu não tô entendendo por onde você tá falando. Mas beleza. É um Cities Skylines / SimCity de cidades na montanha, é isso? Esse jogo? E é jogo de construção, survival, né? Provavelmente online. Tem gráfico de WoW, mano. Mas não é WoW, assim. Uau, né? Os gringos falam uau. Frozen Flame.
That was Frozen Flame, an open-world survival RPG from Dreamside Interactive, where you'll embark on a fantasy adventure in a world reshaped by a magical calamity. A cursed land full of environmental hazards and massive monsters doesn't sound like the kind of place you'd want to build a cozy home with your friends, but instead you'll be raising fortresses and trying to tame the world, eventually growing tough enough to tackle the citadel that looms over everything and break the curse. Or you'll end up in the belly of a monster. Still kind of cozy. The demo for Frozen Flame was released just before the show, so you can jump in or grab some co-op buddies and see how long you can survive for right now. And keep an eye out for the early access launch later this year.
Preguiça.
If you could listen to the noise of history, then you would hear by the sounds of the Victorian age that the world changed forever. The roar
esse é
of
aquele
the
Victoria
engines,
Thriller.
the bangs from new factories,
Eles
and the
colocaram no
cries in the
terminal.
streets calling out for revolution. In Victoria 3, we simulate this era.
Nossa, velho. Eu tô
100
muito
years,
quebrado.
starting in
Não é nem só por
1836.
cansaço do evento. O evento tá numa parte cansativa agora, mas eu tô quebrado mesmo de não dormir o suficiente.
You will meet the people back then.
Amanhã eu devo estar bem mais
low,
inteiro.
over cultures across the globe. They
Não sei quem Sônia me foda, né?
beating heart of your nation and form powerful groups with needs and desires. Listen to their calls and let it influence reform, or turn a deaf ear to
management,
protect what is proven and stable. Your politics will decide where you want to go, but your economy, how far you'll come. Taxes, production, trade, and construction. Play these cards right, and you can harness the Industrial Revolution to turn your cities into titans. This is the engine you will need on the global stage. Use pacts, threats, and bluffs to secure your place in the sun. Anything done by war can be achieved with diplomacy, but you can decide when push comes to shove. Here you write the stories, and over time, the history of your world will be carved into the map. What will your society be like? What is the sound that will echo over continents and be heard over the noise of time as you create your grand tomorrow?
That was the gameplay debut of Victoria 3 from Paradox Interactive, a grand strategy game coming later this year. And let us take this moment to let you know you can wish us Victoria 3 by visiting the PC Gaming Show event page on Steam, where you'll be able to find every game featured in today's show. Type pcgamer.com/wishlist into your browser to be taken straight there.
É, isso é bom, depois eu vou entrar. Eu fiz isso com a Summer Game Fest, eu vou fazer de novo também pra pôr na wishlist. Os de hoje, não só deles, mas tiver alguns da Xbox, né? Tudo bem que da Xbox, muitos eu vou acabar pegando no Game Pass. Vai valer muito mais a pena, velho. Em vez de você pagar preço cheio no jogo, você paga 1 ou 2 meses de Game Pass, você paga nem metade do preço do jogo e consegue jogar o jogo inteiro, mano. É só que você vai ter que fazer calculado, tipo, é focar, tipo, vai ser só esse jogo pra eu zerar ele nesse período de conseguir pagar bem mais barato. Mas vale muito a pena, mano. Isso que tô considerando não tá em promoção, né? Que vem em promoção, vale mais a pena ainda. New blood.
What's up, PC gamers? We're back again. Now, what you just saw was everything New Blood's got going on for 2022. A Medieval to Black Labyrinth, Ultra Kill Act 2, Faith, Fallen Aces, and a brand new update for Dusk that's bringing all new HD models and weapons that nobody asked for. So we're doing it anyway. Now, last year you might have noticed we teased a bunch of games here that we weren't ready to talk about just yet. And we're still not ready to talk about those games. But I want to let you know that yes, we're still working on a top-down shooter. Yes, we're still working on a Fallout-style RPG, my dream game. And yes, we're still working on a car combat game. But we're not ready to talk about those games just yet. What I want to talk about is Gloomwood. Now, 2 years ago, y'all straight up forgot to show the Gloomwood trailer. Last year, you bumped me so Gabe Newell could talk about a bunch of demos or some shit. This year, PC Gamer, you promised we would get to show Gloomwood, so I don't want to hear any bullshit. If you're on a Steam Deck ad right now or some shit, I'm gonna...
Steam Deck. Powerful, portable, PC gaming.
PC Gamer, you see this puppy? I will drown this puppy. I will, if you don't let us show Gloomwood, I am going to drown this adorable... I would never do that. Hi, I love you. So yeah, we good?
No.
Can we show Gloomwood?
Essas tentativas de fazer piadinha deles, mano.
Well, all right.
Essas tentativas de piadinha não tão... sei lá, não presta, não foi divertido, não foi engraçado nenhuma até agora. Eu não dei risada em nenhuma piadinha deles, mano. É muito forçada, sabe? Tipo... Não foi ruim o suficiente pra ser engraçado e não foi bom o suficiente pra ser engraçado.
Hello, Doctor.
E quando a piada é uma merda, você ri da piada ser uma merda, tá ligado?
No matter. I can guarantee your safe arrival. A promise few others here can make. The townsfolk are not fond of outsiders. Don't delay.
Esse jogo tá interessante até, apesar dos gráficos antigos, por escolha deles, né? Eu não me importo com os gráficos sendo antigos, mano. Parece interessante. Se tiver uma historinha legal, velho... ele matou aquele bicho e depois morreu na água, né? A não ser que esse jogo deixe nadar, mas não tem cara desse jogo que deixou nadar. Early Access é triste, mas tá. Thief with Guns é o nome do caralho. Eles estão chamando de Thief with Guns. Sério.
There's only one thing I like more than playing new
Esse é o meu produtor do Thief,
and
não
that's probably the URLs they
Blood?
make for them. It wouldn't be a PC gaming show without the silliest, most ridiculous website names in human history. Which is why I'm delighted to share that next, we have a group of such games that run the gamut from medieval mayhem to an adorable animal fight club. And our first rule, we absolutely plan to talk about it.
Psicodélico isso aí.
Corrupted what? Why is it always doing this just when I need to showcase the game? Okay, I'm gonna take that. Have you tried turning it off and on again? Yes, I have.
The update to System 10.1.1 will provide a clean sorting of all your files and ensure that situations like this won't ever happen.
Oh, no, nobody's updating me. That's the thing. Nope, haha, thank you, but we'll pass. Okay, so I do have a backup of the trailer. While I go rummage into the bin for it, please welcome my personal assistant. That will do a great job at pitching the game for you. Talk about how cool I am in the story and how funny and witty. You know, just talk about me.
Uma história sobre um sistema operacional que não quer atualizar.
Found it. Ah, ladies and gentlemen, the trailer. Okay,
Nossa.
who had the amazing idea to save the trailer back up in 14.4 pixels? Do we have any ants working for us? What?
Interessantinho. Será que não mostraram porra nenhuma, mas parece interessantinho.
The survival of thy noble family depends on their ability to rule the city, to fight with valor,
Nossa, hein?
and to
Que
learn.
luta emocionante.
If only it were that easy.
Todo mundo falecendo ali. Caralho, matou o cara dormindo. Tá pegando fogo, bicho. Norland.
I don't know what you're up to, fuzzball, but back off!
Cidade tem cara de jogo do... Mano, jogo de luta de animal de fazenda, é isso? Tá doido. Que isso, esse jogo, mano. Invocou o capeta, velho. Mano, é um jogo de luta do My Little Pony, tipo isso. Lembra? Exato, é isso que eu ia falar. Parece um jogo de luta do My Little Pony. Minha dicção com sono. É dicção normal, eu tô 100% inteiro, já é ruim. Com sono ainda, nossa. Um nojo. Jogo de explorar dungeon, é isso? Parece co-op. É um Stardew Valley de dungeon, é isso? É um Stardew Valley de dungeon, né? É um Stardew Valley de dungeon. É muito um Stardew Valley de dungeon. Keeper, Sunken Seabed. Eu gostei preso na caverna. É basicamente isso. 15 de junho também.
That was the latest DLC for Core Keeper, the sandbox survival sim from Fireshine Games and
Ainda acho que o Witchbrook vai ser o meu go-to desse tipo de jogo.
all Core Keeper players. Now we have
um
more
update eu
twists
vi.
and turns and trailers.
Eu nunca tinha ouvido
so
falar do
press
jogo,
enter to
mas
continue.
eu vou de
Did you press
Witchbrook,
it?
tá ligado?
I'm gonna go ahead and assume you pressed it. No, but seriously, press it.
Esse tipo de jogo, pra mim, o próximo vai ser Witchbrook. Não tem jeito. Ainda mais que vai ter co-op logo de cara no Witchbrook, mano. O Witchbrook vai ser muito divertido.
When our crops failed, the ruling class would still collect the same share,
E muito bonito.
leaving our children to starve. And if we had any coin to our name, the taxman would appear, demanding you for the crown. The nobles hid behind the safety of their walls and did nothing when raiders pillaged the outskirts of the city. And so, some of us decided that it was time to leave, that we'd rather take our chances in the wilderness, seeking the promise of a new land, than starve to death in our homeland. The journey wasn't easy. We lost many along the way. But this wild, unsettled land offers us the hope of a new start as the masters of our own destiny.
Farthest Frontier. Que isso? Lakers Studio. Não conheço. Sobre de lobby.
What is below is destined to be understood. Our life depends on the whims of the weather. Our life is tied to this earth.
The water we harvest, the plants we grow, the air we filter. Any waste would be
Daí
fatal to our
gravaram
survival.
no
We must
celular,
learn
né?
to live in harmony
a
with
fala.
this world. For too long, we have wandered without purpose. From now on, our city will be a source of hope.
Jogo de construção também. De management, no caso, né? Nossa, eu preciso muito mijar, mas ainda, bom, tem uns 10 minutos de evento.
To understand our world, we must explore it.
We must find the tablets. The seeds of knowledge that bind all the elements together.
To build our survival.
To build our city. To live happily.
Essas gravações do celular ficaram feinhas. Synergy.
Welcome to Icarus, Prospector. The planet we almost lost, then found a reason to stay. Take it from me, this place wants you dead. But we've made progress, learned the lay of the land, how to use Icarus
Esse jogo já
for
lançou
our
esse
advantage.
Icarus, né? Eu já vi gente jogando.
Our friends at the
Ele não é bonito
are
assim nem
offering up a
fudendo.
slice, a whole new terrain. If you learn, build, and survive, maybe, just maybe, there's a future here. Think you got what it takes?
Esse jogo é um survival meio que com roguelite. Mas DLC de graça é bom.
In the rich tapestry of the PC gaming community, modders are one of the most inspiring subcultures. In fact, some of the most popular genres today started as PC gaming mods. Right now, modders Sean FMP1 Snelling and Corey Latto are making something incredibly special in the form of an ambitious mod for Half-Life Alyx. It's called Levitation. It's an original 4 to 5 hour campaign that builds on Valve's original VR game, Half-Life Alyx. With Alyx searching for a pair of rebels gone rogue, they've discovered a strange floating building in Sector X and decided to investigate it, against orders, obviously, and now it's your turn. Let's go back to the world of Gordon, G-Man, and Alyx with this exclusive gameplay.
Mano, essas coisas na tela é deles, viu? Tá essas faixas pretas que
Alex,
piscam do
according
nada.
to this old resistance map, there's a control room somewhere outside the building you're in. Sorry if that's vague, the map was drawn using somebody's blood.
É, fazer mod já é complexo. Mod pra jogo VR ainda, mano. O cara tem que manjar. Eu queria ter um VR pra jogar Half-Life Alyx. E alguns outros jogos VR, né? Mas eu não tenho nem espaço pra ter um VR, nem dinheiro pra ter um VR também. Então, né, basicamente, não vou ter um VR. Então tão cedo, pelo menos.
Alex, I'm detecting an incredibly large energy signature up ahead. It's probably Gordon Freeman, and not anything bad at all. Definitely, probably Gordon Freeman.
Okay, so the plan is to get to that control room and get Gordon.
Oh boy.
Ah, é o coiso lá, né, que aparece.
Getting kind of crowded down here, Russ.
Eles não estão com câmera smoothness isso aí, né? Então, tipo, tá bem crua a gravação do VR, tá esquisito. O câmera smoothness pra gravação é melhor, que deixa a câmera mais suave no movimento. Será que eles vão fechar só nesse trailer? Esse trailer é gigante, né? Tá quase no horário deles. Capaz deles fecharem só nesse trailer, não. Quer dizer, talvez tenha aquele trailer final de compilação do bagulho, né? Tem certeza, mas... Matou ninguém com esse barril aí, né? Tá dando um cagão.
Oh, nice.
Não dá só pra atirar nesse troço? Faleceu. Mentira, faleceu não.
3 cells left. Oh boy.
Well, folks, this is the end. We've learned a lot today about ourselves, about computers, about genetically engineered space marines. And with so many games on the way, there has truly never been a better time to be part of the PC gaming community.
Esse trailer para mod foi muito extenso
hours, we
para
saw
mod.
games from developers all over the world, and we wanted to thank everyone who tuned in to watch the show.
Mas, verdade seja dita, foi o melhor evento da PC Gamer até agora, vai. De todos os anos que a gente já viu em live, foi o melhor evento.
And tell me if you know where to find a 3090 Ti. Tell me immediately, anywhere you
Dava pra eles terem, tipo, minimizado um pouco, ter feito talvez em vez de 2 horas, 1h30, se cortassem umas leves enrolaçõezinhas deles. Mas, tipo assim, foi o mais interessante deles até agora, sabe? Tipo, todos os anos que eu assisti, esse foi o ano mais interessante.
This is the official PC Gaming Show 2022 pre-show. It's the live show before the pre-recorded show. Go to the start. Make sure you're staying hydrated. Replenish your potions. Let's do it again. This is the first time. But before I spiral further into my concerns, here's more. All right, one more time. You just saw Demon School from Welsh developer. You want perfect? Watch this. So now they're all rested up. Let's enjoy a slice.
Vamos ver, vai, erro de gravação, só porque sim.
We skipped the whole line. The whole line. We have come to the end of our show at long last. With so many, I saw my spit fly out. And I hope I didn't get you, man.
I'm good.
And also I ate a Snickers, so I want to make sure there's no just chocolate in my teeth.
Isso é mais engraçado que todas as piadas que eles fizeram.
The 5.5 gigahertz Core i9 12900KS with a 32 gigabyte of DDR. I was doing so well. Ah, God, there were so many numbers all at once.
And game reveals to share with you, which can only mean one thing. It's countdown time. There's a LaCroix burp. It's very close to the surface. It's not a heart attack, it's just a burp. All right, I'm going to do the take. It's gonna happen, maybe.
I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this.
Get ready to overclock your eyeballs because this next trailer is coming in hotter than my computer with more than 3 Chrome tabs open. If your gaming chair came with a seatbelt, then strap in because this next trailer goes from 0 to 100 real quick. And I just got off the phone with my doctor and he was like, exclusive gameplay levels are critically low. And I want to fix that like immediately.
Ah, ele só fez todas as piores piadas possíveis com o bagulho.
Where we're going. It's the first time I'd seen any of those words, but I just kept pushing it. There's no break. I just kept going. I was like, this is the most cool. This read is insane. I was like,
ele tá morrendo.
I don't know why I'm this way. But that's what I decided to do, and I'm sticking to it.
Tá bom. Agora foi isso mesmo. Agora foi. Bom, como eu falei, né? Foi um dos melhores PC Gaming Shows que já tivemos durante os últimos anos aí. Poderia ser mais condensado, um pouquinho mais assim, sem ficar muito tempo em telas mostrando o título de jogo, sem ficar enrolando com trailers repetidos. Entrevista, se for fazer, faz mais curto, direto ao ponto. Não precisa nem ficar mostrando, às vezes, a pergunta. Só taca ali a resposta do apresentador de coisa lá e, mano, faz mais dinâmico. E transições mais curtas. Transições mais curtas entre as coisas. Ia ser perfeito. Mas tá muito melhor do que nos outros anos. Definitivamente não foi tão cansativo. Eu dei várias bocejadas porque eu tô com basicamente várias horas acordado. Eu estou sem dormir bem faz alguns dias por conta desses eventos, mas estamos aí sem problema nenhum.